Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We got a special guest this week. One half of the Balls in Our Court podcast, Kevin Carter. What's going on, my man?
Nothing. I want to know who plans this shit this early.
We do this. This is what we do every week. This is our
Look
routine. The
here.
ear- the
Look
the
here. I'm
early.
old. I'm old. Now, I adore sleep. Like adore it. And then I gotta wake up at never mind.
That's right. That's right. So
Luckily
today,
I got it. Had some Peep cereal, so I got some sugar in me.
you good to go
Yes,
with your peak cereal.
they make Peeps cereal. I guess it only comes around Easter time,
Oh
but
wow.
it's delicious.
I
I've
don't think
never
I
even
can.
seen it before. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to try it.
I can't do peach
Oh,
cereal. That's you guys can
it's
have that.
amazing.
I can't.
It's like
I can't.
I eat every flavor of peach they come out with anyway. Like they came out with root beer ones,
Well,
hot tamales, birthday cake. Birthday cake's the best one.
Yeah,
Blue
I can do that.
raspberry. Yeah, and then the regular flavors. But yeah, I'm a big peach person.
I can do birthday cake, but that's about it. I can't drink milk, so I got to do other things. All right. So this week we had the NBA's trade deadline coming past, and the Orlando Magic took the national spotlight with three very interesting trades. They decided to go ahead and blow up the franchise by moving their three cornerstone players in Vucevic, Evan Fournier, and Aaron Gordon. Bryce, you're the Magic fan on the panel. Give me some quick thoughts on this.
um, huh. I don't know. Uh, we were expecting, most of the trade, to until the Vucevic one, which actually happened first. Well, we were expecting Fournier and Gordon to probably be gone. It was like getting hit by a bus and the Vucevic hit. We're like, what? And for what? Huh? Like that was basically my reaction most of the day, and I, I'm still having like a hard time processing all the trades, like as one group move by the Magic. I don't know just how much it's going to pay off. We'll just see. It's we have a history of like kind of hit and miss with the draft, so we've had a few um, franchise stars, but then we've had tons of misses, and we've had more than enough opportunity to be high in the draft lottery. So I don't know if they're going to take all these first round picks. We got three from the trade, plus we have our own, which is going to be high. Um, so I don't know if they're going to move that and make sure they get the number one. If they don't just get it from the lottery, we have to see what their plan is. But just because it's all going to be draft work, it has me a little worried. It's just more question marks going forward instead of getting for sure talent back and rebuilding that way. So it's the start of another rebuild, which we seem like we're already in. So I don't know. It's a lot to take in and process, and I'm kind of in between.
Got it. Kevin, on the surface level, what did you think about what you saw Thursday afternoon?
I said it was typical. It was typical NBA trade deadline stuff. And I went home early from work, and my boss at work, he's a big Magic fan, and he sends me what I thought was a hypothetical trade for Vooch, and I
Hmm.
went, "Wow, that's a shitty ass trade." He goes, "Well, it actually happened." I'm like, "What kind of idiots are running the insane asylum that is the Orlando Magic?" Last thing I heard was, "We're not going to give up Vooch unless we get blown away by a trade," and
Right,
that's the trade you got blown away by.
right, right.
Jesus criminy! I was like, I felt sorry for Magic fans. I knew the other two were gone. You could have got rid of the other two for like a box of Peep cereal that we were just talking about earlier, and I would have been good with that. But dang man, to trade the guy that even if you made other trades and got a couple first round picks, this guy could have been your center stone, your cornerstone of your rebuild. The guy actually wanted to be in Orlando, unlike so many others before him. He wanted to be there, and you were like, "Nah, we don't want you anymore. We want you to go somewhere and win." Well, he's going to Chicago, who they have a long history of winning, just not recently. So it's just I felt sorry for Magic fans. The whole trade deadlines, I was looking around at the trades, and I was like, okay, nothing really too shocking happened, but Orlando definitely took the cake over everything that I saw. And the Vooch trade, made me mad, and I'm not even a Magic fan.
Yeah, me and Bryce were on the phone for most of that day, and as soon as I had to leave the office for a few minutes, and that's when the trade went down. I'm texting Bryce immediately, and I was shocked that Vucevic was the first trade, even though they had multiple trades lined up. I was surprised that was the first one to be executed, and I was like, "What the fuck are they doing?" Like it was, and then even Aaron Gordon. This was a funny sequence of events because when I found out Aaron Gordon was traded, I texted Bryce immediately. I said Denver because I was busy at work, and Bryce started freaking out. I was like, "What are we getting? What are we getting? What are we getting?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then I thought for a second, "Oh shit! If Aaron Gordon goes to Denver, maybe the Magic can get Michael Porter Jr. back, who wasn't necessarily happy in Denver." And then it comes out that the Nuggets kept Michael Porter Jr. I'm like, what the fuck are the Magic doing? I don't. Denver has the exact two copies of the same player on their team now, and the Magic couldn't get one of those guys. What is going on?
I always look at the Magic, and people are like, "Well, who do you compare them to in like the other sport and anything like that?" I said, Magic fans. I'm a Jaguar fan, so I know exactly how Magic fans feel because we usually we give away we get there a couple of years, we're feeling good, and then we just give away our star players for
Right,
absolutely nothing,
blow it up. Yep.
and then we're back to rebuilding and shit again. So I know exactly how Magic fans feel being on my football side of things. So I'm like, and that's what I tell Cortez all the time. I was like, you guys are the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NBA. You have all this talent and everything, and then you're like, nah, we don't want it no more. We're just gonna give it away. And literally, we just give it away.
Yeah, I
And,
know. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, it's like the best runs we've gotten have gotten us like one shot at the finals, like in like a decade apart. But what Kevin's saying, seems true. We're bringing in, whether it's like a management change or a coaching change, it's always like kind of chaotic. And so with the news of them saying that they weren't going to trade Vooch, and then they got a deal that just like blew them away. That means to tell me that I think they're always going to, with this new management, change over and go young and just have their print on the team, because why? There's no reason to get rid of Vooch, even for a rebuild. Like, he can always be the cornerstone, like Kevin was saying. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It just seems like they always had the intention to do that, and so that's the only reason this trade would blow them away, because it shouldn't blow anybody away. It just seems kind of like like ordained that they were going to do this in some way, and they're just going to do it now. Like,
Absolutely.
you got some draft picks from it. The whole intention had to be to go young and to change the team through the draft, or else you don't do it. It seems like we were misled, of course, which we were.
Yeah.
It's in face.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the crazy part is you're getting draft picks from a team that adding Vooch is going to make them a playoff team. So guess where the draft pick is going to be? It's going to be down in the draft. The only way you're going to be able to use it effectively is if you can trade up and get into the lottery with them, or get into the lottery higher with them. And you can have two picks that are going to be in the lottery. It's not like you were trading them to some crappy other team, and then bam, you're going to have two lottery picks. Oh my God, they gave me a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to definitely trade to get the number one or combined picks after they see where their pick lands them, because I think obviously their own lottery pick will be the highest chance they have at it, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
it's
now,
just
I
so
think they're like
stupid.
third to last or second to last in the NBA. So they may be able to get a top three or even a top five draft pick in the upcoming draft. One thing I would like to add is the Magic Brain Trust actually did a Zoom call with some media members Friday afternoon. It was a 30-minute call. I sat through it, and the spin was is that okay, we're getting younger and then we're clearing cap space. That's always the spin to try to make light of the situation. But I think on the outside looking in, it's going to be a doom and gloom process because you guys never came out of the Dwight Howard rebuild. You traded your biggest piece that you acquired in the Dwight Howard deal, which was Vucevic. So it's like now they're going to ask the fans to be patient even more. We're year 7 after Dwight Howard. It's probably going to be another 3 or 4 years tops before you guys can turn this around by this reset that you just completed. So now you're looking at 10 years of nothingness. Yeah, you were in the playoffs the last 2 years, but they were first round knockouts. It, 10 years of futility, that's going into New York Knicks territory. And I don't know if the Magic fans have the resolve to deal with that.
And clearing cap space for what? They don't ever sign anybody.
Hmm.
Yeah, free
Like,
agents don't want to go. Yeah.
they don't go after nobody big. If free agents want to go to Orlando, they go to Disney World in the offseason. They don't go and sign with the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic should know that. You got lucky one time because you convinced Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady to come. And the only reason one of them came is because you couldn't convince Tim Duncan to come, even though you had him there. So
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you clearing cap space? You never sign anyone. Y'all signed someone 1 year. Y'all did 1 year where y'all signed 2 guys and we're trying to make a run. And then after that, nothing. Oh
Yeah.
my God,
It,
that team makes no fucking sense whatsoever fucking ever.
Well, it goes back to, I'm paraphrasing because it's been a few years ago, but when Bryce's favorite player, Kevin Durant, kind of shot the Magic down with his comments about free agency. I think he said something like, no one wants to go to Orlando. You remember what he said, Bryce? It was something similar to that. And but he made fun as far as Orlando being a free agent destination when he didn't have to. So it was like, okay, so somewhere around the league, people just don't see the Magic as the spot to go to. And he kind of brought a he highlighted that sense. So yeah, right now Orlando's not a free agent destination, and just money alone. What's that, Kevin?
even, even if they sign an all-star, they'll just trade him anyway.
That's yep. That's usually the
Oh,
status quo. They'll be there for 3 years and they'll trade him. Yeah.
oh my
Bryce, did you see the Vucevic press conference with Chicago? His introductory press conference.
Oh yeah, I saw the emotion from him, which isn't surprising. It's like he said, he came here a boy and like left a man. It meant a lot to him how long he was here in the community and the team. So, and he meant a lot to everybody. Obviously, it was a surprise and it hurt everybody involved.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I saw it. I wish the best for him, of course.
Kevin, how is Cortez taking all this?
The man cries every 2 minutes. Like he can't watch a video online or he can't read anything that somebody puts out there without tearing up. I'm like, that's how much I think Vooch has meant more to the Orlando Magic than any other player that they've had as far as fans wise and everything like that, because they all know that he really wanted to be here.
Mhm.
And the fact that he actually really wanted to be in Orlando made it where him leaving really hurt everybody. The other two, no one could care less about. But this guy leaving definitely had more impact. It had more sad impact. Shaq leaving made everybody mad. Dwight doing all his crap made everybody mad and hate him. But Vooch was completely different because the dude actually wanted to be there. So I think it hurts. It hurts a lot of Magic fans that they got rid of the guy that Orlando viewed as their guy, and this is the Orlando Magic in Vooch, and now he's gone.
Yeah, he was actually of all their stars, he was actually the longest tenured one there
Yep.
before they traded him away. So that's a pretty interesting stat. Um, wow, it is insane. Like I said, they definitely dominated the news cycle Thursday afternoon. I think, like I said, long term, this is going to be another 3 to 4 year process. Hopefully next year they're going to get Isaac and Fultz back. Bryce, do you think that's going to add any light to this dreadful situation?
Well, um, I don't think that's going to translate to a ton of wins just yet. And so the only way people get over anything is through wins. So no, I think this is gonna loom over everything the Magic do for the next, let's say, 3 to 4 years. Until they start winning, everything's gonna point back to this. Like, well, look
Right.
what they did. Look what they did. Look what they did. Until they win. Winning fixes everything, but that we're not gonna win for a while. And even when those boys come back, they haven't got a ton of time to play together. The team's gonna be young, even if it's the ideal situation, unless we just get lucky in the draft and get some kind of first round star or first pick star, I think we're looking at more of the same for the next few years. So it's going to be a lot of pointing at this and just shaking our heads
Yeah,
because we're not going to be winning.
the bad part about it is you're relying on two guys whose history has been they're injured.
Yeah.
And that's the bad part about it. Yeah, they could be talented. As far as we know, they're going to be awesome and great, but availability is more important than talent right now, and they haven't been available. And I'm like, oh, you're going young, you're going to do all this stuff, but the two main guys you're focused on haven't played like in a while. Like they played like 12 games for the Orlando Magic. I know I'm exaggerating, but that's what it feels like to me is that they've only played like 12 games, and that everybody's excited over these two guys, but they just haven't played. And I'm like, I hate relying on people that have constantly been injured, and I know it's just crazy. I'm like, oh my God, please Orlando, do something so I don't have to watch videos of Cortez crying.
Ah,
And we can see from history, players can go one of two ways because I used to look at Steph Curry as a guy who had nothing but a huge ceiling of talent, as we clearly get to see now. But he was plagued early on. You're hoping if you're the team with the injured players that they can come out of it and have a healthy career after. But then there's so many guys who just could never really get it together. So to be banking so much on like a 50-50, to me, it's like it could go either way. It's just so dangerous, and I'm worried because that's two guys you're betting a lot on, and like you said, it feels like they've only played 12 games or whatever number of games. So I'm worried. Like the ceiling could be high, but then the floor could be so low again. So I'm trying not to get like too worked up about it, but it doesn't look good. To me, it doesn't look good right now for a while. So
And Orlando's injury history isn't very good either. By having players that they bring in or sign or do whatever, they it's not really good with them staying healthy and making runs. Grant Hill, so
yeah. I mean, they
not
signed
not a
him
very
on
good.
crutches.
Yeah, not a very good history. I think he like sucked it up just to walk into the press conference and to sign his contract. And then as soon as he got it done, I was like, oh, my ankle. It blew up.
Well, that was a question that I actually posed to Bryce earlier this week. Is that with all the injuries that the Magic have had the last few years, do they need to start looking at changing the training staff or the training facilities? Because that team has been devastated for 3 to 4 years now. Everyone's been hurt for a certain length of time.
You want to really know what I think it is about all these injuries and stuff that are going on?
Yeah, go ahead.
More basketball now has been played ever in the history of basketball,
Right.
as far as growing up playing basketball. Used to, you played basketball, you played there in the high school season, you were done.
Hmm.
If you went to college, you played during the college season, and you only practiced the amount of time they allowed you to, and then you were done. Now you have basketball year round. These kids are constantly running. These guys are constantly playing basketball, are constantly training. They're constantly, and everything is focused on trying to get better. And it's with every sport now. But everybody is focused on training, getting better, and everything. And basketball is the one where you run the most, where you have to do the most conditioning, and it's killing them. And when they go in and they start playing full bore, and it happens a lot in college now too, people just start getting injuries left and right. I have never seen so many ACL, MCL,
Right.
Achilles.
Right.
I've never seen so many
Right.
of these things getting messed up until recent.
Yeah.
And I just think it's just too much. We put so much on these kids now when it comes to playing sports and everything that we miss the opportunity that it might not be good for them to put them through all these rigors. And now you see these younger guys coming into the NBA, they all get hurt.
Yeah.
They all get something's wrong with their knees, something's wrong with their ankles, something's wrong with their legs, stuff's wrong with their hearts. It's just I just think it's just too much to put on all these guys. If they got talent, let them work with their talent naturally. We ain't got to blow them up and make them think that they've got to go play basketball every single day for since they were 12. That they got to play basketball every single day to make it anywhere. And I think that's got a lot to do with why we see so many injuries going on right now. I don't think it's necessarily training staffs of teams and stuff like that. I just think that it's just a lot of these guys are wearing down quicker at a younger age, and now, bam, you just have stuff happening to them. That's why I always say that I'm amazed LeBron has made it through without any big, gigantic, significant injuries. You know how much ball he was playing
Yeah.
when he
Well,
was younger,
it's
and
happening now.
it all started. It all started around his time. Yeah, it all started around his time too, when all these teams started kicking up. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
I know if I was young again and I was playing basketball, I'd be like, look, I'm taking a break. I'm not
go
playing
sit
this
down.
tournament. I'm not playing in this tournament. I'm not playing in this tournament. It's too much.
Mhm.
It's just too much.
Mhm. That's a good point. To switch gears a little bit, I woke up to the little birdies first told me that LaMarcus Aldridge was in Miami, so my little birdies were wrong. But I woke up to the news
Shoot
that
them birdie.
I woke up to the news that LaMarcus Aldridge signed with the Nets. Bryce, I'll start with you. How do you think this impacts the NBA championship scene?
Not much. The 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 worst of the Brooklyn Nets is already there. Everything they need is already there for their playoff push this year. It's their first year together healthy, so that'll be interesting to see. But I don't really think LA brings much to it. He's not the impact player he used to be. Apparently, it was more of a joke around the NBA that he went there more than anything. So, I don't think anybody's too worried about him being there.
Kevin, what do you think about it?
I laughed. I was like, really? I was like, are they trying to collect infinity stones and then snap and hopefully have the I was like, it's getting funny now. But the thing about the Nets is, are all these guys going to stay healthy? Because again,
Right.
you've got a bunch of guys there whose track record is they can't stay healthy. The only one that's really stayed healthy is James Harden.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
But the rest of them, I know what they're trying to do. I know they're trying to coast into the playoffs, and then when they get into the playoffs, let everybody go full bore. But there's always that chance that something's going to happen with Kyrie needing to go to another strip club, or James Harden needing to go to another strip club. They
Oh
might go
boy.
visit Lou Williams in Atlanta now. We don't know what's going on. So it's just, I good for them. for getting LaMarcus Aldridge. They're probably going to need him to play more because everybody's going to end up being hurt, or they're just going to try to coast it. But I don't see it making a bit of difference from what they had before to what they have now.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough balls to go around. I think that's a lot of talent for a rookie coach to have to kind of navigate through. Um, I've been saying that even though Brooklyn is strong, I still think Philly might be able to clip them. Milwaukee, not so much, but I think Philly will give them a run for their money. So we'll see how it shakes up in the
I just
Eastern
never
Conference
trust
playoffs.
Philly. I,
What's
I,
that?
I, I, I just never trust Philly to do anything anybody thinks they're going to do.
You
I just don't. I don't trust their process.
don't trust the process.
No, I don't trust their process because they look so good at times, and then at other times they look so bad.
I think
And just whatever. I just don't trust them at all.
I think this year they're giving us a glimpse of their full potential. I think Doc Rivers has kind of righted the ship a little bit. So, I mean, it doesn't matter until the playoffs come. So we'll see what they do then. But I think they're moving. They're definitely moving in the right direction. I like what they're doing. Really quick, me and Bryce spoke about this a little bit last week. Since I have you on this week, Kevin, I want to ask you about it. What the fuck is going on in Boston? What,
They don't care. They don't. I think they don't care anymore.
bro? What's going on?
I think they're legit. Like I don't care anymore. We don't care. Let's just let's just get in and let's see what happens. Even if we get into the playoffs, it's like they're just guessing. Now they're at a dartboard, literally going, okay, what can we do? If I hit this one on 10, we're going to trade 2 second-round picks and we're going to get Evan Fournier. Well, what's Evan Fournier going to do for us? I don't know, but we're going to do it anyway. So it's just like they're throwing darts at a board, and wherever it sticks, they're going to do something stupid. But whatever. I was like, good. I don't like Boston anyway, so that's perfect for me. Y'all go and continue to do stupid crap.
Do you think it's time for Brad Stevens or Danny Ainge to leave the franchise?
It's time for Danny. It's time for Danny Ainge to leave.
Hmm.
Because all
Wow.
these moves are on Danny Ainge. It ain't on Brad. They're going to try to put it on Brad, but
Mhm.
Brad's done a hell of a coaching job since he's been there. So I wouldn't go Brad, but Danny Ainge. I don't like Danny Ainge anyway either. So kick his butt out.
You're like the only white guy I've met that's anti-Boston. I love it.
I don't like Boston. Dude, I don't like anything Boston. They're up there with.
Nothing.
Remember how I told you before? I don't like anything Ohio either.
Yeah, I remember
Boston
that.
is Boston and Ohio are two of the things where I don't like none of the teams associated with any. So yeah,
That was great. The Oklahoma City Thunder are shutting Al Horford down for the season. Do you think they should just buy him out and let him go elsewhere, or just let him sit on the bench for the rest of the year? Bryce, you take that
but
one.
Just let him go. I mean, but I don't know, he's like the older version of Marcus Aldridge. He's like
but he's
bringing
not
even
Marcus Aldridge. He's-
He's not as old, and he was actually dropping 15 points a game. Kevin, what do you got to say about this one?
just let Al go, please. But Al don't want to go.
I,
I was like, oh, I want to stay here and help the young people. I was like, why, Al? Like, you could still legit do something for somebody. Why do you
right.
want to stay there? He's at the age. He's at the age now where I think he just wants to sit around and collect the paycheck.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he tends to chill.
That's
I was like, man, I don't want to run around anymore. He
it's crazy.
looks and feels older than he is.
Yeah.
Al's
Yeah.
34 years old.
Yeah. LaMarcus is like 37 or some shit. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, LaMarcus is 49 years old.
Oh
Let's see.
goodness.
Al's 34. LaMarcus is 35. Okay, so he's a
35.
year old. He's right. He's older. But yeah, LaMarcus. Did y'all see the thing where they did the Slam magazine or Sports Illustrated or something, and they said the present and the future of each team? I mean, the past and the future of each team, and
No,
it
I
had
didn't
like
see that.
and the Marcus Aldridge on there, and somebody said it's safe. It's weird that LaMarcus Aldridge was 30 in this picture.
Yeah, I know I
And
didn't see that one.
yeah, he was like, LaMarcus Aldridge is 30. Everybody else is in their 20s, but LaMarcus is 437 years old. He was like Joe Louis when he fought, Rachi Marciano.
Well, oh, you had some, Bryce?
No, I was
Okay.
just like chuckling a little.
Well, another thing I'll say about the Nets getting LaMarcus Aldridge is if the Lakers can close Andre Drummond, LaMarcus Aldridge is definitely going to be a non-factor for Brooklyn because Andre Drummond to the Lakers is going to be extremely huge. So how do you feel about that one, Bryce?
Well, you just, you know, he gives them another piece to throw up against bigs like that, especially if they're going to try to be careful with how much run they give Davis. So to just have that body there is a big deal for them. They need all the size I feel like they can get for the playoffs. So if they can get him, that's huge for them. And especially right now, it takes some of the stress off some of the other players. So hopefully they can pick him up.
Kevin, how do you feel about Drummond possibly joining the Lakers?
Well, it's good for them because it allows them to rest AD. And like I've said many times before, the Lakers will go as far as Anthony Davis can take them. Not as far as LeBron can take them, because he needs Anthony Davis more than anything. So they only are going to go as far as Anthony Davis can take them. And if they get Drummond, that's going to take a little off of Anthony, let him rest some more, and let him be ready when the playoffs come, because they're going to need him when the playoffs come.
Oh yeah, yeah. If they can go ahead and close that deal now and get him there now while Davis and LeBron is out, that'll give Drummond a chance to acclimate to the system and get his legs up under him. So they need to make the move quick. Stop talking about it. Go ahead and sign him so he can get in there. Because with him being a focal point right now, if he can do that, that'll acclimate him quicker to the team. And I can just imagine seeing Kuzma and Drummond in the game at the same time, and Kuz playing off of Drummond. That's going to be devastating coming off the bench. So,
Yeah,
yeah. What's up, Kevin?
definitely got to get. If they get Drummond, in there, they definitely, if he can get acclimated without Davis,
Hmm.
that just makes it more better. He can play with all them scrubs and then he used to the feel of everything. And then when you get them two back, that opens up a lot more things for him to be able to. Or it might piss him off because they won't give him the ball.
No, they definitely need to go with the ball. But look, he can get any ball he wants once he's out there.
They'll be like, my bad. Oh, that is a big human being too.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, he's huge.
Mm.
Yeah, he's huge.
You
So,
know who's a big that I got to watch wrestle? That's Shaquille O'Neal.
were you? Yeah, you were there tonight. He was at AEW, correct?
Oh yeah, he's a freaking monster. He had to
Yeah.
duck his head to get out of the tunnel. The entrance come in.
Oh wow.
I just heard big human beings, and I automatically thought of Shaq wrestling.
That was a good bump he took onto that table. I'll give him that.
Oh, he was great. He was great.
Hmm.
He was fun, is what he was. The
Hmm.
only thing that was missing is they should have had Charles Barkley on commentary with Jr.
I would lose my mind if that ever happened. Just want to let you know that.
That would have been the best. So what do you think? So what do you think of this match there, Charles? It's terrible.
I, I would lose my everlasting mind. Okay. On on that note, we're gonna go ahead and end it this week. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us. Let Cortez know we miss him and we love him. Bryce, any last words?
No, just processing the magic stuff.
You're supposed to say, Joe, what's left of the magic? That's what you're supposed to say.
I don't know what to say about him right now.
Or go Terrence Ross, because he's like the longest tenured Magic player there now.
Oh God, another Heat killer. They need to get rid of him too. I'm sick of him killing
God,
us.
yeah, I hate him. Oh.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one. Thanks, Kevin.